Well, welcome back, audience, to Two Truths and an Anime. You'll remember our wonderful guests, Laven and Jack. Jack was ahead by 1 point, but will Laven be able to come ahead and make his way to the top? We are now going to go through this summer's anime, the only way I know how, alphabetically. And that mystery prize to whoever wins is $100. Whoa, that's some serious money. Let's come up with our next 3 animes, although one of them may not be the real McCoy. First up is Kangoku Gakuen Prison School. So there's a very strict all-girls school that has just started to admit boys. An original plot, I know. So 5 lads have chosen to attend this school, but to their disappointment, not a single girl is willing to talk to them. We have our main character. He's a generic character that I'm sure a few ladies are going to fall for no apparent reason. Next, we have our friend who is always wearing a hoodie and I think I got the black lung pop. He's my favorite for the sole fact that he periodically coughs up blood. And next we have old Crazy Eyes. He just occasionally, his shtick is to like look at the camera and shout something like, "You're a madman for even thinking about that." And it's like, this guy. Then we got our cool greaser, who I know nothing about. And lastly, we have our, he's kind of like Flubber. He's basically a guy who has a real big head, a really small face, and really droopy earlobes. And he's just really weird to look at. I kind of find him jarring, like those animes where it's gone from that hand-drawn to like suddenly it's all CG to it's back to hand-drawn. It's like... Oh, that was jarring.
Just this one character is like that?
Yeah, he's a weird-looking guy. So all of the lads are lewd degenerates who would do anything to see a girl in a state of undress, except for the main character, I guess, kind of. Not really, though. So after a long day of not being talked to, the lads feel they must do something. So they dress all in black and head to the top of the school roof to peer inside the girls' locker room, which is kind of odd because usually in a harem kind of thing, you're like, okay, we don't want the main character to look like a dick for, fooling around with all these girls. So maybe he can just keep falling into awkward situations. But this one just said, no, they're all dicks. Every last one of them. They're up on top of the school, and they're lowering their camera, but what do you know? The locker room's empty. But the camera falls into the locker room. So the main character, they're like, we got to shimmy it down to get the camera back. So he gets down there, and he's picking up the camera, and what do you know? Right behind him, at that very moment, the girl he likes enters the locker room. They're like, it's over. We're done. But fortunately... she doesn't have any contacts in, and she assumes he's another girl, and she's just like, "Hey, Jessica, how's it going? You doing great? What do you say we take all our clothes and take a shower?" And, so everyone's like, how's he going to get out of this one? So, he does the only thing he can. He strips naked and goes into the shower room with, like, 50 other women who... must have also left out their context because no one seems to notice. So his compatriots, they're on top of the roof, and they're being attacked by these crows, and they get captured by the official underground student council. This loud speaker chimes out like, "We caught some boy speaking, everyone." I don't know, run out to see him or something. So everyone is leaving the shower room, and the main character, he's able to escape just in time. But then for some reason, he's like captured by the official underground student council, and I guess he's thrown in with the lot for some reason. Anywho, they're all told they either need to do manual labor in the school's prison for 1 month or go home. And for some reason, they all choose prison. So lastly, we meet the female prison guards. If you Google this anime, you will instantly know what character I'm talking about. I believe the director, he just took out a piece of paper and he drew 2 large circles on it, and he told his staff, like, make a character based on that. I mean, there's fan service and then there's fan service. I mean, good Lord, leave something to the imagination. I just say, as a general rule of thumb, if you're making an anime, ask your employees if they thought the anime High School of the Dead was reasonable. And if they say yes, don't let them draw anything, because basically go on YouTube and YouTube, should you watch Abunai Sisters, and you'll get a full explanation of what I'm talking about here. So, will our characters make it out of prison alive? Will one of the guards fall in love with the main character? How far are our characters willing to go to see the girls in a state of undress? Find out on the next episode of Prison School.
Sounded pretty ridiculous, but anime is pretty ridiculous.
Little crazy sauce in with the mix.
Yeah, I can't make an assessment until I hear the rest of what you got in store for us.
Yeah, you say that a lot, you know. You're like, oh, I can't make a judgment until I've watched the whole anime and then spent a year in Japan before. I guess I'll give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, that's why I give every anime. Gall, Laven, you're ashamed to your profession.
Wow.
So the next anime, Jutsu wa Watashi wa, which apparently means actually I am, and then an ellipsis, which is the 3 dots, kind of like, you know, who knows? So, anywho, we come across our main character, and his main thing is he's unable to keep secrets. And it'll be something like maybe by facial expressions, people will be able to figure out what's going on. And he's also very prone to shouting out the things that he's thinking about. And like one time he liked the class representative, and he was going up to confess his love to her. But before he could, she's told him, like, stop staring at me. I'm not interested in you at all. And he was like, oh, I haven't even got to confess, and I got let down. So he's on to the next foxy-looking girl in class. And this girl, I don't know, she's a bit of a loner. She's kind of off by herself for some reason. And anywho, the Blad, his friends encourage him to go confess to her one day. So off he goes, but just as he opens the door to the classroom she's in, plot twist, she's a vampire. These large, like, bat wings are out, and she's sitting there, and he looks at her, she looks at him, and he looks at her, she looks at him, and it's pretty wild. So she expects him to be afraid, but he isn't, and it turns out she'll have to leave school because someone found her out. And with the essential plot explained, she just keeps yammering on and on like one of those chattering skeletons from Disneyland. And you're just like, please shut up. So eventually the main character says, surprise, that he will keep her secret so that she doesn't have to leave.
Sure.
My word, where do they come up with these incredible plot twists? Anywho, she seems okay with that. Honestly, nothing else happened in this episode. I'm guessing in future episodes, they'll deal with various other girls, like the class president who previously told him she didn't find anything attractive about him and will never speak to again. I'm guessing she'll fall in love with him for some reason. And I don't know, they'll probably notice he's doing some odd things to keep the vampire secret. The vampire tans easily. I mean, that's something. She, that's why she doesn't walk out in the sunlight very much, because she tans. Will our main character be able to keep his secret? Will the nosy school paper girl press him with questions? Will other monsters come and fall in love with him? Find out on the next episode of Actually, I Am Ellipsis. What'd you think of that one?
It seemed really normal. I mean, like you said, nothing happened, so I guess if anything was a lie, it would have to be the fact that she's a vampire and he found her. I guess if you like created a new concept, you know, I wouldn't say it's a good concept. But,
Well, do you think you're gonna watch that anime? You think that one's piqued your interest?
No.
Well, on to our third anime. Monster Musume no Iru Nijo. Also known as
the Italian anime.
Everyday Life with Monster Girls.
Oh.
This looks fun.
Now, have you ever woken up in the morning,
Yes.
walked downstairs, turned on the old coffee machine, got yourself a hot cup of joe?
Of course, yes.
I imagine as you stood there drinking in that heavenly aroma, you thought to yourself, you know, this coffee machine, it only does one thing, but it does it really well.
Makes you smell liquid.
This is the anime equivalent of a coffee machine, you know? Everyday Life with Monster Girls. It's, you come down, you press your play button, and up comes a scene about a young lad in the prime of his life getting into some erotic situations with some monster girls. And assuming that's what you want, then this anime will deliver a hot cup of monster girl every single episode. If, however, that you don't like coffee, then, you know, you probably shouldn't buy a coffee machine. So this anime starts off with a boy waking up, but what's this? A girl is laying next to him in bed? But this isn't any ordinary girl. No, it's a snake girl.
Oh.
And as she awakens, she begins to wrap her tail around him and kind of like press his head into her chest, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
know what I'm saying.
And as he struggles to get away, he like starts stroking her tail. And in her elation, she kind of, her grip softens and he's able to escape. And so in the next scene, they're walking down the boulevard and the snake girl sees this shop selling swimwear. And she wants to buy some, and wanting the young sir's opinion, she takes him in with her into the dressing room. And just in case a coconut hit you in the head since the bedroom scene, you can see the snake girl. She begins to wrap her tail around him, and she kind of presses his head into her chest, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he eventually he escapes and waits for her outside. And then in the next scene of episode 1, mind you, this is the same episode. They go to a hot spring, and
wait, who does? Just those two?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they enters he by himself. He enters one of the pools of water, and what do you know? The snake girl shows up, and she begins to wrap her tail around him and press his head into her chest. If you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I wish he explained it.
I'm saying.
Well, I mean breasts. Okay, that's what I've been talking about the whole. I don't know how you didn't catch on to that, but
Oh,
Leaving.
breasts.
I'm sorry.
So the next day at school, his teacher, who's kind of easy on the eyes, if you know what I'm saying, takes him aside and reminds him that he's not to become intimate with a foreign exchange student from Monsterland, who's living with him in his house. Otherwise, there will be severe consequences. Will the boy be able to keep his relationship professional? Will he be able to keep his organs from being squeezed out of his body? Will a bird and horse monster each fall in love with him in the next episode? Find out on the next episode of Everyday Life with Monster Girls. So how'd that one sound, huh? That get your gears grinding, you know what I'm saying?
So was the explanation of that she's a transfer student from Monsterland at the end of the episode where he just says, "Don't have sex with the snake"?
Yeah. You aren't to have sex with any of the Monsterland girls because they're foreign exchange students.
Why are they living with them?
Because they're foreign exchange students. Did I not say that like
You
just
did.
5 seconds
I got
ago?
it.
I guess you were right. It does that one thing, and you know they went to the hot springs, they went to school, they woke up next to each other, and it was all there.
I mean, you got to admit it was a bit of a twist. You know, I mean, they weren't in his bed; they were in the hot springs.
Yeah, they went to the dressing room. I mean, that was that's half a season right there. I don't know where the heck they're gonna go from here.
I know. I guess they'll have to rip off some more harem anime.
Maybe just repeat the same scenes with the other girls.
Just every morning, like, it's like episode 6. Did that intro where he woke up in bed did that kind of seem like the same one we've been seeing in every other episode? Or so, lads, which ones do you think are the real, and which do you think are the fake?
Oh man, that was 3 already.
Yeah, that was 3 gems, if I do say so myself.
I believe that they all 3 are gems, yes.
What are you thinking? Give it to me straight, lads.
I'm going to have to go ahead and say that Monster Musume is the fake.
Monster Girls.
Yeah.
And why do you say that?
It just gave me a vibe that you were telling me a crazy story instead of actually giving me facts about a show based on this exact picture. So, so that's the one I'm choosing.
What about you, Jacko? Which one just rubbed you the wrong way?
I was gonna say the same thing. I was thinking maybe Prison School because that was the most detailed one, but I want to live in a world where they don't go to the hot springs in the first episode and then go to school afterwards.
Yeah. So what are you thinking?
I have to, for my sanity, I have to vote for Monster Girls being the fake one.
Now, which of the 3 do you most want to watch?
Oh, Monster Girls, for sure.
You're gonna make me choose one?
No, I guess if you're going to take all day.
All right, I abstain.
You were both right. It was Monster Girls.
Oh!
So the real plot of Monster Girls. All right, so there's this young lad, and he wakes up in bed next to this girl. All right, but she's not an ordinary girl. She's a snake girl.
Ooh.
And as he awakens, she begins to wrap her tail around him and kind of like push his head into her chest. But after he
this is the same story.
He begins to stroke her tail until in her elation her grip softens and he's able to escape. So in the next scene, he's preparing the bath for her because as a snake they're cold-blooded and she needs to warm up. So she comes in, but she's not wearing any clothes. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to. So she gets in there. But then she gets her tail and kind of wraps him and brings him in. And as her tail wraps around him, she begins to press his head into her chest. But he's able to escape. Actually, no, this is the point that this rather attractive government agent woman comes up and is like, hey, in our exchange program between the monster world and human world, you aren't to have intercourse with any of the monsters or hurt them, or else it'll be a crime. And he's like, all right. So then next scene, they go to buy lingerie. And as she actually brings him into the changing room and begins to kind of like wrap her tail around him and kind of press his head into her chest, but he eventually escapes. And then they go to a love hotel where they're just kind of like hanging out on the bed. But then the government officials are like, hey, no.
Why did they go there? Why did they do that?
Yeah, I think some people were making fun of her being a snake, I think. And they said, I guess this is the next logical thing to do.
Okay.
And then they're back at his place, and they're like lying on the floor, and she begins to wrap her tail around him, kind of like press his head into her chest. So he's like, oh, you gotta stop. You gotta, and then he dislocates his arm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like go to school or have a job. Or do anything, though.
Maybe he gets a stipend from the government for not having sex with the monsters.
Yeah, the thing is, that was actually an accident. They brought her to the wrong house and then left her there.
Why don't they bring her to the right house?
Yeah, I was wondering that, too. So, does that sound like an actual anime to you?
Not much more, no.
Yeah. I probably would have guessed right both times because it's so crazy. I would have just assumed you were making up the story. Either one is so far-fetched.
I guess it sounds like the more typically stupid like most anime do.
Yeah. Did you like that part where she pressed his head into her chest?
I did.
I don't know why they kept doing that.
I don't know either. I'm like, are they getting to the plot eventually? I don't know. Maybe next episode. All right, on to the next category. You ready, lads?
I'm ready.
What is it?
All right, Bob, come on.
Our first anime, Charlotte. Same name as my cousin, by the way.
Oh.
So a boy is walking home one day when a thug tries to rob him. And in the boy's terror, he is able to just suddenly temporarily control the thuggee, whom he has jump into the nearby river, allowing the boy to escape. It is from here on that the boy realizes he has the power to control other people for a few seconds. And he starts using the ability to like cheat on tests and have people leave money behind for him to take and various other things, any young scamp would want to do.
I did all those things, yes.
So as the boy begins high school, a girl says to him that she would like to talk to him after school. And he's thinking, oh, this girl, is infatuated with me. But then he discovers that she is part of a school club of other students who have superpowers. And she can see a short distance into the past. Another boy can teleport short distances. And the last girl, she can fly a little ways.
Like she can jump off a building or cliff? Until she hits the ground? What does a little ways mean?
It's more like if there was a book on the top shelf, she could get that for you.
All right.
No tall ladders at her apartment, She's got that covered.
I know what you're saying.
So the club warns him that there's a shadowy organization that's trying to capture all the magic users. So the club is trying to avoid and stop them.
Both.
And there's also this scene where one of the boys, he first meets him and he offers him some gum, but then he realizes he doesn't have any gum.
Oh.
And they have this good laugh, and that's when I realized that this was terrible writing. Yeah, don't put pointless things in your anime if you can help it. And I'm assuming the directors of the anime listen to this podcast on a regular basis, and so don't have your main characters just kind of also like be ripoffs of Kira from Death Note, kind of that like, he does something and then they zoom in on his eyes as he squints. He's like, I got away with her.
Yeah.
So will our main character be able to keep a low profile? Will he be able to see indecent things by controlling others for a short period of time? And how did all these children get their super abilities? Find out on the next episode of Charlotte.
Seems like a solid enough premise.
Yeah, I believe that might exist in its form.
Do you think you wanna give it a watch? Is it titillating?
No.
Is it exciting your gaming fingers?
No, not at all.
Let me check.
Oh.
No.
Oh. I thought it was all right myself.
Well, you're biased.
Next anime, I'm sorry. Kusen Madoshi Kohyushi no Kyokan.
Yes. I agree.
Also known as Sky Wizards Academy.
All right, option 3.
All right, so they're there fighting some space beetles.
Ooh.
When suddenly the quartet needs to, they're needing to fight them off. And our main male character, he's flying up and he's killing a good number of them with his sword, while his 3 female proteges are backing him up. And
like
then
singing?
Yeah. You're following me so far, right?
Yeah.
And some more stuff I didn't really understand happened, and then the story, it kind of like jumps back a few months to before the flying space beetles battle.
Okay.
So we start up at Floating Magic School, where students are being trained to become sky wizards. And there are 2 women talking, and I don't know who they are.
Or what they want.
And yeah, I truly don't know what they're about, but they're talking.
Okay.
And there are these 3 underperforming females. You got Blondie, Redhead, and Dark Blue. And
dark blue is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm basing this off of their hair colors. So one of the 2 women, I'm guessing she's like a principal or something. She decides to form them into a team and assign them a teacher who at one time was the greatest sky wizard, but has fallen from grace and is now in the storage room, like cleaning up the place.
Literally in the storage room.
Cleaning up the whole place.
Yeah. After hearing the good news, he heads out to meet the team, but unknowingly bumps into each of them on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So he accidentally runs into the redhead and accidentally grabs her breast while accidentally following on her. Accidentally. He then sees Dark Blue, who dislikes him for some reason. Lastly, he accidentally is in the girls' changing room.
Sure.
And that wasn't really, I didn't get why, but he accidentally runs into the blonde girl, and she's in the state of undress. You're in the wrong spot. So later they're all at the training room, and they're like, I ran into a weird, creepy guy, and then what do you know? He walks in and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be your teacher," and they all look at him. They yell, "Hentai!" So, will the girls be able to trust their new teacher? Will they all secretly fall in love with him? Will the main characters be able to get this ragtag team together and learn how to fight? Find out on the next episode of Sky Wizards. So did that jostle you good,
I don't care if this is real or not. I'm sure it is real, and it's just a different show that's not called Sky Wizards Academy.
Well, don't you want to watch a few episodes? I mean, how do they fight those space beetles?
The same way they fight space beetles in every anime.
In every magic school show. With their dragons. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Will one of the girls catch your eye, She's kind of...
Dark blue.
Dark blue?
It's all about dark blue. I'm on Team Dark Blue. Officially. It's the Anibros official statement.
We should start selling T-shirts at KomoriCon just saying dark blue.
Dark blue.
All right. On to the next anime. God Eater.
Oh.
This anime starts off with a confusing fight scene that will probably make some sense in a few episodes. I'm going to waste your time with it. We then flash back to when the main character, he's starting at fighting school training. And so we're in the main lobby where this well-endowed woman tells the boys to get training. And can I just say, the anime went with a computer game graphics kind of look, which I'm not too wild about. I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, let's just copy and paste that from our video game and just kind of put it in here, and I don't know, maybe we'll touch it up later. So our main character meets his new friend to be by accidentally running into him, and I'm not really sure why he was running. Anywho, they're like training. I don't know how, but they're fighting in in Voyager, they go into the Star Trek Voyager. They go into the hologram room every few episodes, and they're like, hey, put up this simulate. It's kind of like that, I guess.
Okay.
That makes sense. That's the only way I know how to explain it.
It's like the holodeck. Good.
Yeah. And as the main character's training, some people are watching him and like, hey, that guy, he's good at fighting. He's going far. He's going places. And I don't know, maybe that'll be explained eventually. So later on, the new friend asks if the main character wants some pop, and then takes him to see some large sword that he will fight with at some point. And I'm hoping the dialogue gets better from here on out, because this new friend, he's not an interesting chap. So I don't know, maybe he dies or something. So some monsters are attacking the city/base, and the main character wants to, run out there and fight them off. But his instructor, she's like, no. And so he runs out and starts fighting him. And he almost dies in a rather pathetic way, but then the A-team shows up, and they just start killing a whole bunch of monsters. And the main character, he wants to kill a monster, and so he transforms his large sword into a gun, and people seem impressed that he's able to do that. Will our main character be able to join the A-team?
That's all you need to know.
Will the dialogue ever get better? Will he fight some more? Find out on the next episode of God Eater.
God Eater.
So how'd that one sound?
I don't think I could watch this show.
Did it sound like a fistful of gummy bears, just shoved right in your pie hole?
Yeah, kind of. That's a good description of it.
Are you hoping this is the real one so you can watch a few episodes?
No.
All right, lads. Which of the three do you want to see the most, and which of the three do you think was fake?
I guess the one I want to see the most is Charlotte by elimination.
Not by like wanting to see it.
I could probably stand to watch that one compared to the other two.
Yeah.
Well, the other two, they had their charm, right?
No.
No. Yeah. I don't think I can watch this. I might try to watch Sky Wizards Academy just to laugh at it.
Unless maybe you just like didn't capture what God Eater was, and maybe it's, I don't know, but I felt like you captured Sky Wizards Academy just fine. So I don't need to see that one. Like the description for God Eater seemed really short, so either like not a lot happened or it's just a bad show.
A lot happened, and I just didn't know what the heck it was. Yeah. The big question: what are you putting your chips on?
I think Sky Wizards is fake.
Sky Wizards. What do you think, Jacko?
I'm gonna say, I'd guess Charlotte. Parts of that might be fake.
And why do you two? I mean, what about the plot just seems a little off to you?
For me, I'm going to say I think Charlotte is fake because I don't believe there's agents trying to stop the magic kids. I think, I don't know, Japan would probably want everybody to be magic all the time.
Okay.
I don't know, it's dumb.
What about you, Laven? What just, I don't know, seems a little off with Sky Wizards.
I guess how you described it. Again, that's what I'm usually listening for, like discrepancies in like the way you're describing the shows.
You know, he paused just a little bit, right?
Yeah,
there.
you know, you pause for 1 second, that's your tell. I'm like, oh,
but like, plot-wise, nothing seemed off about any of them.
It was just ridiculous, and what I imagine you would think of as a show like this. You don't
believe that's a real anime about where they all just...
Oh, I do, but there are too many tropey things that I'm like, I think just Patrick has heard about this and he's thrown it in. That's my guess.
All right, lads.
I don't know. I could be completely wrong.
Are you ready for the reveal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Charlotte.
Yeah.
Dang. This is my first one I ever got wrong.
Well, your second one, but yeah. All right. So, what actually happens is the main character, he finds out that he has the ability to take over someone else for like 5 seconds. And so he kind of uses it to like have girls, look at themselves, and he gets into some guy he doesn't like, and he punches some other person, and yeah.
Wait, so is the mugging thing real, where he makes the mugger jump in a river?
No, he just finds out he could transport one day, I guess. Oh, he does start off where he's like, some great philosopher once said, "I think, therefore I am." But I said, what if someone else were to think, and then I was able to be them for 5 seconds? And I was like, that was deep.
That's the unabridged quote.
I like that.
That was deep, man. That was deep. Word to your mother. So yeah, he's going through some long shtick about being, he's like the smartest kid in school, and he does have this weird Kira vibe where every time he tries to trick someone, they're like, all right, that sounds cool. And then it goes to his squinty little eyes. They say, so there's this one scene where he's like, there's a foxy looking girl. I want to, be her boyfriend. And he's like, I know. He transports into her friend who he has just run away. He then transports into this like lolly driver, by which I mean like a semi-truck driver, and he like veers over to kill her. But then the main character pushes her out of the way just in time, and they like, oh God, I got a little scraped up, and he's like, well, are you all right, madam? And her friend wakes up, hey, he just saved your life, holy cow! And she's like, oh well, there's this pancake house just down the block. I thought you might want to join us.
Wait a minute. This happened before.
And he was like, well, I guess I could go for some waffles. And then the other friend, she's like, oh, well, I'll just leave you two to it. So they're in the pancake house, and there's this scene where he's about to eat, and she's like, oh, no. you've got to pour your syrup onto each one and spread it out just like this. And he's like watching like, oh my. And then you put it on and cut it and then eat it. And then he tries it. And I was just thinking like, if you start talking about how amazing the pancakes are because she showed you how to spread freaking syrup on, I can't take. And then he did. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. I don't know what to do at this. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Freaking spreading syrup on a pancake.
We need to find who wrote that and, just
slap him a few times. Anywho, eventually, he's taken into a room where they're like, yeah, there was some people said that you might have been cheating on your test, so you have to take this test immediately. And he's like, oh, shoot, they've got me. But then he's sitting there and he looks up and he's like, okay, this guy is looking at the answers. And so he transports into him. And when he comes back, this girl with a video camera, she's like, we got you, sucker. And it turns out that they all have magic abilities, but you lose them once you grow up. And so she's like, all right, you got to transfer schools and you got to join this student body council. And so he goes up to his hot young thing and she's like, yeah, whatever, see ya. And he's really disappointed. So does that sound like a good one? Does it sound like one you want to watch?
I'm not sure if that's better or worse than the fake one.
To tell you the truth, I based the fake one off of the plot from the movie Jumper.
The real one sounds more of a mess, like a typical, like, what the heck were they doing with this anime? And it's still the one out of the three I would watch if I was forced to.
All right.
Then you know him now.
On to the next three. Akagami no Shiaki Hime, also known as Snow White with red hair, also known as clearly not Snow White because she has red hair. So, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Good. Okay. No, I'm tracking.
So, we start off. There's a young, beautiful woman whose character design was clearly stolen from the main character of Yona of the Dawn, which you can hear a full review of on episode 80 of the Anibros, Anime Podcasting Done Right. Also, you will be able to listen to me read the audiobook if I can get the deal with Anibros Audio through.
It's through. You can go whenever you want.
Since the main character looks so similar, I will just call her Yona from now on. So Yona is walking along and she's working in her apothecary when
as women do.
You see one of the king's guards come in and he tells her like, hey, you're going to become the prince's concubine. All right? I'll be here tomorrow morning to pick you up. Which makes sense, I guess. And so she knows that the king, he's been looking for the most beautiful girl in the kingdom to be his concubine. And he just received this magic mirror who could tell him who the fairest of them all. It was Yona. She's the fairest, even though she has red hair. So not Snow White. So Yona decides to hit the road. And in the woods, she is ambushed by some highwaymen when 7 lads and lasses come out of the woods to save her. And she wishes to join the band. They're a little unsure if she's tough enough, but after being able to keep up with them all night and showing them she knows a thing or two about medicine, they agree to let her stay with them. And she seems to be in love with one of the lads. There is also some half-hearted attempt to tie this in with Snow White character, and I think they kind of give up with that. I mean, the 7 characters, I guess they're kind of like dwarves. I mean, they live out in their, like, wood shack kind of house, and I don't know.
Japan never got a very good translation of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. This is the best they can do.
Will Yona and what is clearly her love interest fall in love? Will the prince be able to find Yona? Will Yona be able to tame her unruly red hair? Find out on the next episode of Snow White and with Red Hair. Great translation. That one straight up or a little of the funny sauce?
It sounded fairly straight up. Like nothing anime wacky happened. So either it's a more serious show than most, or I don't know.
What are you thinking, Laven? What are your feelings telling you? You know,
I like it. It seems legit. You did obviously embellish on the funny parts.
Would you watch this? I mean, does this strike you as?
No, I wouldn't watch it. I didn't like the fantasy genre shows at all.
Oh,
it seems like it's aimed toward. I mean, how many of the seven dwarfs are men? Are they all men?
No. It's just like, what was it? 3 fellers and 4 women.
Oh, okay. That's not bad. I was imagining it's, meant for girls and like 7 handsome men jump out and all fall in love with her.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a reverse harem.
No, it's probably just people who like Disney shows that like this.
On to the next one. Chaos Dragon. Sariu Seki. I think it's also known as Red Dragon. I'm not sure. Chaos or Red? Something about a
Close enough.
Dragon. All right. I'm going to let you know, just like right off the bat, I didn't understand what was going on most of the time. Okay, maybe they'll explain it in the next episode. They certainly didn't in the first. So we start off, and there's this island nation which has been attacked by 2 nations on either side. And I think the island was split between the 2 nations, but then there was like a bit in the middle that wasn't split, but I don't know. Anywho, the island is protected by a red dragon. I don't know how, but it's the dragon's there. And there's a scene where they're transporting a treasure across the island for some reason, and it's being transported by one of the attacking nations who took over part of the island. And there are 2 bad main characters. And one of them's this big old guy who's carrying a large saber, and the other is this woman who's a pedophile. And she likes the young fellas. And so the next part of the episode takes place at this orphanage on the island, where the main character is this young boy who wears a large white poofy hat. And for some reason, the orphans are leaving for the main square of the nearby town. I got the feeling there was a festival, maybe, but they didn't really show any festival, so I didn't really get that. Anywho, at the same moment, the bad characters are transporting their treasure through the same town, same time. And it turns out the treasure is a gem used to communicate with the red dragon. And the main character is secretly the heir to the defeated throne. And so he's able to communicate to the dragon through the gem. Then there's this fight, and one of his female friends gets hurt. And then the main character, he makes this pact with the dragon, but then he's like, you gotta kill the girl. And he's like, no! And then he kills her. And he seals the pact. Once the main character has the power of the dragon, he's able to kill the large man with a saber. I think the pedophile girl gets away. And then, I don't know, some other characters come to help the main character become king of the island. They don't really explain who they are, though. They just kind of like show up. And one of them's this like cat girl who can fly around on a dragon-looking thing. And that seemed important. I don't know what else to tell you. That girl died. I mean, he killed her, so that was something.
That happened.
Will the main character become king? Will the new characters be explained? Will the plot start making sense? Find out on the next episode of Chaos Dragon.
Or Red Dragon.
Or Red Dragon, whichever suits your fancy, or whatever gets your fiddle going at this high school dance. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I always say. I think I taught you that one.
This one strike your fancy, Laban? Huh? They got a young cat girl in there. I know you're rather partial to them.
I am. So, yeah, I'll probably watch it.
You watch it? What about you, Jacko? You thinking of watching a couple episodes?
No, this seems like the kind of thing that like people who don't know anything about anime imagine anime to be just a bunch of confusing dragons and cat girls and people with big swords and colored hair. It's like,
pedophile women. Yeah.
I want to find the person who cares about this show. You obviously did, and from the description, I don't. And it's like, what kind of person would get joy from?
Who's like, holy cow, guys! The next episode of Red Dragon just came out, and everyone's like, yeah. Let's go over to Jim's house and have a Red Dragon party. Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen next episode.
Yeah.
Yes, son. Yeah. I want some of that red sauce all over me. Yeah. Wow. I'm a cat girl, and I fly on dragons. Meow. You can cut that part out. I don't think the good people at Anibros want to listen to me making cat sounds.
I think they do.
Well, leave it in. I don't know. So the next episode, Ushu and Torah. No English, just Ushio and Torah.
Well, there's the word "and."
You got me there. What's "and" in Japanese? Is it no or is it
toe?
Toe? All right. So this anime, it's, I guess, based on a well-known manga from back in the day, but it was only just now made into an anime. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
I haven't.
So this father and son, they're eating at home. And the father, he's a priest of an ancient Shinto shrine. And I know he's got to leave on a trip, and the boy and the son, the father and son are always like yelling and such. Anywho, the shrine apparently has a 500-year-old magic spear, but the main character complains that he's never seen this spear. And the dad's, he's heading out, and before he heads out, he's like, hey, remember to, air out the books before you go to school. Whatever that means. And so he goes into the shrine to air out books, and what's this? He stumbles over some hatch that leads to a basement he's never been in, and he goes into the basement and finds this large monster that's trapped by a magic spear that's pinning it to the wall. And apparently 500 years before, a samurai stabbed the monster there, against the wall, and it's been there ever since. It's basically the plot to Inuyasha, just without a girl jumping down a well. And so only a human can take out the spear, but the monster lets it slip that he will eat the boy as soon as the monster is freed. So the boy says, screw you, and leaves for school. At school, he meets two female characters, and it's unclear as to which is going to be the main love interest, which is pretty unusual, and I'm going to tip my hat to him. Although I will guess it's going to be the hard-to-get Sundre character, kind of dark hair. That's my guess for the girl he's going to wind up with, but it could be either. So after school, the two girls need to meet the boy at the temple for some reason. And when they arrive, he's like, hey, what's this? And he sees some little monsters kind of swarming around them. And he's like, can you see this? I'm like, oh, no, don't, try to grab me inappropriately. So he runs down to the basement, and he's like, monster in the basement. What's all this? What's going on? Monster is like, hey, after you opened up the basement, a lot of bad mojo got out, and it's going to start attacking those girls. You better pull this spear out of me so I can help. So the boy, he pulls the spear out of the monster, and then the boy, he becomes really powerful and gets really long hair. And then he and the monster, they just start running out, and they start attacking all those small monsters in the area, and they defeat them. I'm pretty sure the girls see it, but I don't know. Maybe they'll try some shtick where they aren't sure what's going on, or maybe I don't know. Will the boy and the monster get along? Which girl will fall in love with him? What new monster will they need to fight? Find out on the next episode of Ushio and Torah. That one give you some good vibes, huh? Some good time feeling, Pour me another cup of Ushiro, just keep that loving coming. What do you think?
I think yes. You sold me.
You gonna watch it?
I'll probably watch the whole thing.
Yeah? What about you, Jacko?
It does sound like an older manga. It sounds just like Inuyasha or, all those old anime where, the dad runs the shrine and I have to go beat the demon. That old shit.
Yeah, it's for rural folk. Hillbillies in Japan, they're not like all about the moonshine. They're all about the demon shrine lord.
Demon shrine.
All right, lads. So of those three, which one do you want to see? Which one do you think's fake?
Well, I'll watch Ushio.
You'll watch that one.
Yeah, if I have to watch one of these three, it's going to be that one.
What about you, Jacko? Which one? Is it Red Dragon that's striking your fancy?
No. One of the other two. I guess I might check out Ushio.
Yeah, might. Okay. Now, here's the big question. Which is the fake?
I have to go with Red Dragon is fake.
Red Dragon. What about you, Jacko?
I believe that Snow White, that's not Snow White, was fake.
Now tell me, for both of you, what about the plot just rubbed you the wrong way?
It wasn't anything about the plot. I just sort of believed that the other two were more sincere.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. Intuition kind of like just seems...
No, there was nothing in the plot that made you think this
Now, Patrick,
is so
when you
stupid.
explain a plot to me...
No anime could
really
ever
hard
be this dumb.
to figure out which ones are even crazier than the others and which ones are, like, it's impossible. It's just a bunch of nonsense stories. So I just have to really like use other clues and try to figure it out.
What about you, Jacko? Does something just the plot just stick out at you?
For this round, more than the others, it was comparing it to the other two. The last one, Ushio and Tora, sounded, I don't know, pretty legit, I guess. Red Dragon, I think we were all just confused on what happened there.
There was a red dragon.
Yeah. And Snow White, I felt like the parts where she was ordered to be the concubine and then
That's true.
the part where she escaped were kind of disjointed. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
This one, it is more
That's
comparing,
right.
but I'm going to go with that.
It's probably Snow White. I'm going to stay with Red Dragon, but I think I'll be wrong.
You ready for the big reveal? I'm sorry. It was Snow White.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Here's the thing, though. The two parts that Jacko thought were wrong were right.
Oh, well.
So it's about this young woman who works in an apothecary, and one day the prince's guard comes and tells her that the prince wants her to be his concubine and that he'll be picking her up tomorrow morning for some reason. and so the girl, she runs out into the woods and she's sleeping by some house, and then this young feller jumps over the fence and she sees him and he looks at her, and then his two friends, one male and female, come up and they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like, "Hey, yeah, sure." And so they're hanging out in the house, and then suddenly a basket of red apples is delivered, and there's a note saying like, "Hey, we found you," or something. And they're like, "How did they find us?" And then one of the characters, he goes up and he bites some of the apple, and he's like, "Princess," or I'm sorry, "Yona, you shouldn't eat that apple." And he falls over poisoned. And then the guard comes in and he's like, "We intended that for Yona." "Well, what do you say? Come back to the castle and marry the prince?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess."
What?
So she's back at the castle, and the prince, she's like, "Gonna give me some Yona." And she's like, "All right, if I do this, will you give the other guy some antidote?" And he's like, "Yeah, maybe." And then suddenly, boom, in comes the other guy, and he's like, "Luckily, I've been slowly taking poison so that I'll become immune to poison." And they're like, what? And not only that, it turns out that he's the second son, the younger prince of the next kingdom over. And so then he's like, "Hey, you got to leave her alone." And that prince is like, "All right." And then he's like, "Hey, why don't you come back to my kingdom with me?" And she's like, "Okay, dreamboat." And they make a reference with, obviously, the poison apples. There's a scene where this guy comes up and he's going to tell the prince who's the prettiest woman. And the prince calls him like a magic mirror. And they're like, "Why'd you do that?" And then there's a scene where one of the guys, he's like, "What? I'm not a dwarf." And you're like, Are dwarfs stereotypically jumping over fences or something? What? So yeah, they were really, really forcing like this Snow White thing, and then apparently they give up on it. So yeah, kind of a mixture of Snow White and The Princess Bride. So do you want to watch it now?
No, it sounds much worse than the fake version you made.
Yeah, but the part you thought was fake was real.
That's the flaw I found in it that I thought you had messed up. And
that's the crazy part. No, that was the one part that was real.
The catch is it's even worse.
All right, so we're going to have our lightning round.
All right, my favorite.
I'm a little worried at this round, though. It's based off of the tweets that the Anibros have put up.
Okay.
And I think Jack has put up most of them. And so I'm going to go through and see if you can guess which is the real and which is the fake one. Okay? So
which is a real show or a real tweet?
Real tweet.
Oh, okay. No, I'll probably get this wrong.
Yeah, so I'm going to bounce back and forth between. So only one guess, okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to start with you, Laven. Which of these 3 tweets was fake? I'm going to lie down for a while. Playing some 100% OJ. Finally wearing pants. Which of those tweets was fake?
I'm going to have to say... Oh, Jesus. Can you say it one more time, actually?
I'm going to lie down for a while. Playing some 100% OJ. Finally wearing pants.
My instinct is to say it's pants, but then I also know that Jack tweets about like picture commentaries too, where someone could do something ridiculous where you wrote, "I need to wear pants." So it's really tough.
This is the best category ever. Laven, you cannot look anything up.
No, I'm not. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just thinking. Okay.
We need to do this every week.
What was the first one?
I'm going to lie down for a while.
Going to lie down for a while.
People listening at home, like, just write down your answer and be sure to comment.
I'm going to lie down for a while. Damn it. I can picture like a dumb anime scene for all of these that it could be. All right. I'm just going to have to go. Let's go with going to lie down for a while. That's my answer.
Jack, tell him what the real one was.
Was it... Playing 100% OJ?
OJ, yeah, that was the fake. Okay. That was the fake.
All right. I should have guessed that one. Because that one... Oh, God.
I like how none of them are descriptive at all. Do they have pictures attached, or do you have that at all? Oh,
no, they were just really straight up tweets by themselves. All right, Jack.
That's really hard.
All right, Jack.
Okay.
Time for pizza, ice cream, and video games. #adult life. If a game requires a tree and or a chart, count me out. #out. Just put a new computer together. #gamer.
Oh, dang,
I think I know what it is. Can I have Laven guess it?
Laven, why don't you guess?
Okay. I think #out definitely is real. So that one, I think, is real.
It is a common hashtag.
Well, it's funny, and so I want it to be real. Is basically what's going on.
All right, so we have #adult life and #gamer. Which one's the fake?
Oh God, this is really hard. Let's do adult life is fake.
No, that was... Oh, God. Well, actually, Jacko, what
no, yeah, that's say? Right, yeah. Just put together a new computer, #gamer. That's
gamer.
That's
the fake.
That's the fake one? God damn it.
Yeah.
Why would you tweet either of those things?
That's
this
what
is the
I keep
greatest
wondering.
day ever.
All right, Laven, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Load it up, Bob.
Show me a rock star that gets off stage and reads moe manga. Here's a tip. Everyone secretly likes anime. Who doesn't like a girl in a short skirt and a long kimono?
Oh, shoot. Those all sound real.
I don't know, yeah.
Are you saying, Jack, you weren't sure which was which?
Say him again?
Yeah.
Show me a rock star that gets off stage and reads moe manga. Here's a tip. Everyone secretly likes anime. Who doesn't like a girl in a short skirt and a long kimono?
I wish that this first one was longer. Show me this and that, and I'll show you something else.
Okay, I have a guess, but I want Laven to
Laven,
guess.
why don't you give the guess?
This is not a fun one. Because
Go with your gut. Just go with your gut.
Gosh, okay, just read them one more time. I can't remember.
Show me a rock star that gets off stage and reads moe manga. Here's a tip. Everyone secretly likes anime. Who doesn't like a girl in a short skirt and a long kimono?
Okay, let's go with... Jesus. Let's go with long kimono.
What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I believe that's the fake one.
That is the fake
that's
one?
the fake
But
one.
that's so good because I like the long part.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
typed in a bunch of O's or something.
I guess I
Yeah.
gotta go with my gut. It was always my gut, but then I just thought about it a lot. I'm like, I don't know, dude. It could be like the opposite of irony. I don't know what's going on in this tweet.
All right, Jack, you ready?
Yeah.
Put a smile on your friend by sharing with them the Anibros.
Okay.
Some people are saying the Anibros are dead. The Anibros will never die. I think some people are accidentally pleased by Anibros podcast.
Oh, dang.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I know which one. I want to hear Laven's guess.
Okay,
Raven.
I was gonna guess the middle one. That one seemed...
Some people are saying the Anibros are dead. The Anibros will never die.
I don't think it's that one.
You don't think it's that one. What
You
do
think
you
that
think
one's the
it
fake
is?
one?
Yeah, I think that one's the fake one.
Oh, you think that
Okay.
is the fake one? Okay, what do you think, Jack?
I think the fake one is put a smile on your friend's face.
Dang, it could be
Right.
that one too. That one's pretty funny.
That was it. That was the
Alright,
fake
that's
one.
the fake one?
Yeah.
I guess I gotta think of which one would Patrick tweet. I wasn't thinking that bad at all. I was just like imagining each of them, like, which one makes the most sense? And
Now that you say them, like I remember them. So
Yeah, that's why I figure you have a bit of an advantage at this
Yeah.
game. All right. Is it Laven?
yeah,
All right.
I'm guessing it off of him anyway.
Talk to two people outside of work today. Hashtag social butterfly. My eyes changed color today. So hashtag not anime. Why is it so hard finding parking at the grocery store? Hashtag parking.
Damn it. I had it. I thought it was the middle one until the last one was read. I think I remember the first one, so I'm going to rule that one out right away.
Okay. What are the other two?
Was there ever a tweet about parking? If there wasn't, if there was, then it's definitely the middle one. I feel like it's the middle one in my gut.
My eyes changed color today. Hashtag not anime.
Yeah, pretty sure it's that one. Let's go with that one.
All right, Jack, what is it?
the fake one's the parking one.
Damn it. What was the picture?
There were no pictures. All of these are just one-offs
Oh,
by
they-
themselves
none of
that
them
have
have pictures.
nothing to do with anything.
Feel
They are
terrible.
just text that I look at and say, I don't know why anyone would put this up.
I thought some of these
That's the
probably
whole
just had
purpose
pictures,
of
but some
this
of them
show,
didn't.
to
Okay.
make you feel bad. All right, Jacko. Well, heck, Laban's going to answer it anyways,
Yeah.
but here we go. Pokemon. Toast. I like 9/11.
Those are the tweets?
Those are three
Yeah.
tweets.
Those are 3 separate tweets. Which is real and which is fake?
So
God,
one says Pokemon, one says
Yep.
Toast, and one says
Yep.
I like 9/11.
Yep.
I think toast does exist.
I honestly don't remember any of these.
Or none of them could exist.
I think I'm just pulling one over.
Maybe
on
it's
you.
a lightning
Is this the
round.
one where you're just making fun of us like even more now and they're all fake?
What's your guess, Laban?
I guess that. I guess it's a trick.
What's your guess, Jack?
I'm gonna hope I didn't say I like 9/11. I don't remember any of these, though.
The fake one was toast.
What?
Huh?
Nuh-uh. There's just a tweet where I just said Pokemon.
Yeah.
That one was Laven.
No, I don't. I don't post in this ever.
I will admit the post was I like ... 9/11/Laven.
What? That's a real tweet?
Apparently, it's a quote by Laven. Yeah.
I don't remember Toast or Pokemon. Was there any more to those?
Nope. They truly every single one of these has nothing to do with. You posted nothing else that day. You did not post it with a picture or anything. I'm giving it to you straight.
He's giving it strength, folks. Folks,
All right.
You heard it here first.
You ready for the next one?
How many of these did you find out?
Not enough.
Alive. Alive. Alive.
Okay.
Bees be buzzing. Buzzing. Anime born. Anime bred. When I die, I'll be anime dead.
All right. Is my turn?
Yeah.
Sure.
I definitely think the middle one is fake. I think that's the one.
The bees?
Okay.
Yeah,
bees
bees.
be buzzing. Buzzing. Which is it, Jack?
I was going to say the bees one as well, yeah.
You're correct. Although it should have been the alive.
I remember saying that. I don't remember what that's
What a good hint. That was a good hint. I was like, oh, that one definitely got tweeted by us.
You ready for the next one?
from. Yeah.
At least the dad wasn't bent on enslaving humanity and saving his dumpster baby. I could be poorer than poor. I could be dirtier than dirt. The prince put down tar. Do you ever hear yourself? You've drunk the Kool-Aid man.
Okay, I remember which one's fake. So.
Dang, I don't know. Maybe the first one. Let's say the first one's fake.
At least the dad wasn't bent on enslaving humanity and saved his dumpster baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the fake one.
I'm going to say that one's fake too.
This was a twist.
Uh-oh.
They were all real posts, but they were from Jack's Facebook. They were not put on Twitter.
Oh. Okay.
I was going to say, like, that sounds familiar, but I was going to ask you what that's from.
So, Jack, you gonna
Bees
make
be
some-
buzzing.
you gotta make some better Twitter posts after this?
It's just a shaming exercise is what's going on here.
No, I'm going to continue to make terrible ones so we can have the segment more often.
This is the good segment. This is probably the best game ever devised.
All right, lads. Let's tally up the score and find out who the winner of the $100 prize is.
Oh, yeah.
The winner of the first game of Two Truths and One Anime is... Oh, wait, could you hold on a second? I'm getting something. I'm being informed by a judge. A rule has been broken and that you have both been disqualified.
What?
Rule 4 states the contestants shall inform the host if they have seen one of the animes in question before it is read off in the game show. And apparently, in episode 91 of the Anibros, Anime Podcasting Done Right, both Laven and Jack report to having seen a tuba chica, but did not report it before I read it off in the previous segment of Two Truths and One Anime. So, at least you have your health, you know? I mean...
Well, you win some, you lose
I have the black lung.
He was a great character. Any last words, lads? You want to, say hi to your family or, point any last things out about, this crop of summer anime? Is it looking good?
It's one of the stronger seasons that has been happened in the last few years.
one of the stronger vintages, huh? What do you think, Laven? What this summer anime is? What do you think?
It's colorful, and they got a lot of big-breasted ladies.
Some boobs McGee.
Those are my 2 factual observations about summer so far.
All right. Well, thank you, lads, for playing. I'm Bob, and I want to thank everyone at home for bearing through this god-awful monstrosity that is the Anibros. Anime podcasting done right.
If you did play along at home, remember to go to anibrospodcast.com and post your score in a comment.
Yeah, please post your score. Send us your scores.
I think you can also tweet at us. I don't know how that works, but you can do that.
You can go to Twitter if you want.
He's not gonna be there for a while.
You've had a free sample now. You can decide whether or not you want to follow us.